And so it was that I found myself down in deepest Cornwall and the owner of another centaur, for which I had paid 5.5k. There we go. He's brought another one already, though. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. It's always a good sign, I think, when a bloke pats his boat goodbye. As soon as he had gone, I did what I always do with a new-to-me boat. I took it out for a sail to find out if anything about it was minded to break or bend or get stuck. Oh, yeah. It's hard to think of a better place to sail than Falmouth Harbour. It ticks nearly all of the boxes. Clean air, good wind, strong tides, brilliant anchorages and rocks. Lots and lots of them. And upstream from this superb natural harbour stretch the tentacles of deep water. The Penrhyn, the Percool and the Truro. And just around St Anthony's Head to the east is Foy, or west past Pendennis to Helford Water and Frenchman's Creek. Plenty therefore to keep an old man busy while he gets to know his new boat. I was enjoying sailing a centaur again. I'm not sentimental about my boats. They're little more than moulded, plaited and woven plastic, plus a bit of extruded aluminium. But the beautiful physics talks to you through your hands and your feet. After a year of voyaging and deep penetrating the Scottish east coast aboard the lightweight Flibberty gibbet of KTL, it was marvellous to stand at the helm of a solid centaur with my hands feeling the water coursing around the deep rudder that runs in clean flow, and through my feet planted firmly on the cockpit floor, which is just 2 inches above the waterline. You can feel that hard-driving 26-foot hull chomping her way through the short chops of the West Country northwester, and I was trying to learn to love the aerodynamic abomination of the retrofit roll-away mainsail. Getting drive from the main was going to be a challenge. Despite giving her a bit of a beating for a couple of days, almost nothing broke and the rain hardly ever got in.
Now, it did say in the forecast that we are going to get some 40 mile an hour, so I assume that this is what's coming now. So my plan is to get a bit of sea room. Tide will be coming in fairly soon, and I will just drop everything and raise the cramp spray hood and weight. It's not going to be a big one. I mean, it could be quite intense, but it's blown up pretty nasty now. I've just got a teaspoon of sail out, and I'll just wait for this to blow through. They're pretty short squalls, 15-20 minutes. You can see that it's paling up over here already. When you're in it though, you think this is going to go on forever. So there's the rudder, and that's the sail that I've got out. And there's been about 5 rainbows. But when the sun comes out between the storms, it's fantastic. It's about to stop raining, which is nice of it.
I had based myself for the winter at Mylor, at the wide end of a west country creek that all but completely dries. Mylor is a place where boats often come in their declining years. While the wooden ones decay beautifully, the plastic ones do not go quite so gently into that good night. Their final fate is a date with a skip. All along the shore, under the shelter of the trees and well out of range of the Atlantic swells, local yachts sit patiently through the winter, waiting for their owners' interest to rekindle as the spring days start to lengthen. The long keelers stand on their legs, packed perilously close together, entwined in a cat's cradle of lines, weights and anchors. I've negotiated 6 winter months on the pontoons at Mylor, which will allow me to sail through the short days and wet months of the coming West Country winter. I'm also planning to make good use of my little clinker car topper that rows beautifully and sails rather well for a dinghy with no centre plate or rudder. I'm not exactly relishing the idea of towing a dinghy, but the boss says that she needs something to row because the exercise is good for both of us. And the Labrador will be with us for much of the time. Bummer. Then came the rain. 2 days of it.
The weatherman says it's going to keep going this morning. They've changed their plans. It was going to be a series of kind of squalls coming through, but now it's black cloud with squalls coming through. So I think it's going to go from raining a bit to raining hard to raining a bit to raining hard with hail. It's about the 3rd hailstorm we've had. It might come nice, you never know. It's kind of brightness over there.
So there were 10 of those cushions.
It never ceases to amaze me what people choose to leave on boats when they change hands. It's almost a reluctance to let go. In some ways, it seems that they want to leave a bit of themselves on board to carry on voyaging on their behalf.
Which is good thing. Man, there's a lot of stuff. Stickers and things everywhere. Certificate of British Registry. There's you. There's you. There's you. There's you.
However, there is a power greater than either me or Clive in the matter of boat interiors. One of the real unexpected pleasures of my winter in the West Country was the chance to observe the last commercial sail fishing fleet in the UK. And every morning, whatever the weather, they were up and about. They're allowed to use their engines to get to the oyster beds, but once there, they have to turn them off. Dredging foul oysters is permitted between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on winter weekdays and between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Sunday is a day of rest, as ordered by our Lord God in heaven. They are out there for every hour the law and the weather permits. Neither the cold, nor the wind, nor the wet will stop them. The dredges can be up to 47 inches wide and are scraped again and again across the nutrient-rich mud that lies just a few metres below the surface of the Fowl and its tributaries. Getting the speed just right is crucial. Too fast and the dredges start skipping across the surface of the mud. Too slow and they'll not cover enough territory during their cold 6-hour stints. I spent hours watching them and they work hard for their money. Sail trimming is relentless and those tiny foresails strung out on the extreme end of the bowsprits are crucial to keep their boats on track as the sharp-edged foul gusts come blasting down the estuaries.
You liar.
The men spend their days working in those cold waters, hand-hauling the dredges in and sorting the catch. My hands wouldn't last a week. The dredgers fall into two categories. First, the larger gaff-rigged sail-driven boats up to around 30 foot long. They run up and down the wide bits of the estuary. And smaller rowing punts that are allowed to work the shallower and narrower bits of the creeks and side estuaries.
So the rules are you're not allowed to use an engine. He winds backwards and forwards, puts down an anchor, winds forwards, dragging the trawl. Looks like bloody hard work to me.
And every now and again a modern fowl fisherman powers past the fleet. Big engines, hydraulic winches and eberspackers. Their working lives seem feather-bedded lush by comparison to the real fishermen of England. And when the wind chips up, the hand haulers move further up the creeks. The sailing fishermen just reduce canvas and carry on working wherever they can find flattish water.